It is the morning of day 3. We got up, Jesse made breakfast, everybody's getting ready, and Marcus is going with Andy and Jason this morning, and I'm gonna hang around here while Riley capes and salts and does everything. We're gonna shoot a video on that, and then we're gonna go out caribou hunting this afternoon and keep hunting for 8 more days. So I'm just hoping that Andy finds like this 40-inch ram, just big old thing. He's got 8 days to do it, and we just have barely scratched the surface here. The amount of places for them to go in the next 8 days is insane. But I'm sure, absolutely sure, that Marcus Hockett will tell a good story about it. He's the man in charge of the storytelling around here. I just show up and do what he tells me. Good luck, Andy. Hope you get him.
That's not true.
Thanks.
Get him.
The lower one's the biggest one. Definitely got heavy bases. Just haven't seen him from the side yet. But I think that middle one too is, I mean, he's full curl, it looks like. Or close to it. Oh, the back one's actually, all 3 of them I think are decent. Rubbing that bush. That's cool.
Beautiful morning. Wish the clouds were a little higher. You see the tops of the mountains. But we spotted 3 rams over there.
Can you tell anything about those rams?
We're still a fair ways away to tell for sure, but enough to go get a sure look at.
A big part of the reason why I was able to do this hunt was I was motivated by a group of really dedicated volunteers, the Arizona Desert Bighorn Sheep Society. I know how hard they work. I've been aware of them for a long, long time. And when I had an opportunity that I could help them raise money, that was really important to me, because volunteering is one of the most valuable things anyone can do. And to have someone like Andy be the winner of this hunt, at the time I didn't know how much he volunteered. When he first moved to Arizona from Wyoming, he told me he just jumped into volunteering for conservation groups because that's how he was going to get to meet people who thought like him, who lived like him, who did the things he did. And I'm really, really happy to be here with somebody who I know has put so much back into wildlife and wild things.
The Arizona Desert Bighorn Sheep Society was founded in the late 60s. We're a 100% volunteer organization. There are no paid directors, no paid employees. So we try to put as much money that we can raise back on the mountain for sheep in Arizona. For many years I was on the board of directors for the Sheep Society. Quite a few years I was the treasurer. So over the years I worked on quite a few projects, both projects on the mountain and projects in the boardroom. I spend a lot of time helping with the fundraiser, trying to raise money for sheep. Our main fundraising source, we do a banquet in the spring every year. But then throughout the year, we also do some raffles. Brad Rimfrey actually came up with the idea to raffle off a sheep hunt with Randy, and it was simply just a specific fundraiser, a specific raffle to raise as much money as we could. Drawing my sheep tag in Arizona was an unbelievable blessing, and I was floored and just blown away that that happened. But the odds of drawing or winning a raffle and being able to be up here and hunt Dall sheep in the Northwest Territory, I never thought it'd be an opportunity for me. So I'm super appreciative for Brad and the guys at the Sheep Society for being willing to put the hunt together and saying, yeah, we'll do this, and even more appreciative that Randy was willing to step up and put his name on the raffle, because I know that that drew some extra excitement about it, and they raised a lot of money for sheep in Arizona. And I just can't say enough how blessed I am to be here and to have won the raffle and make this thing happen.
Jason's checking them out to see how old they might be. Pretty amazing to be up here and staring at sheep. It's only our third day of hunting and trying to find an old ram, so it looks like this one up here, he's broomed on both sides. We'll see.
What's the verdict on those?
So the verdict is they weren't super impressive, so we're going to keep on down the valley here and go see if we can turn up some more sheep.
Morning of day 4, horses are saddled, we're loading our stuff, and Marcus is going to go and film Andy and Jason way up in a spike camp. So all of us are going because there's no horse forage up there. We got to bring them up on horses, and we got to bring the horses back here where there's some forage. And they're going to spend 2 nights up there. So the afternoon of day 6, we'll come up there with the same string of horses and pick them up and bring them back here. And then we're going to move this camp further up where we took a break oh, I don't know, it's a couple-hour ride up there. There were a couple old cabins. On our way in, we took a break there. And that's where we're going to hunt out of for the last 3 days or 4 days, I think. So, yeah, get the full adventure part of it. And I'm going to miss out. I got to stay here and be the fire tender at the base camp, which is all right because, you know, if it's like, well, be the fire tender at base camp and have a big ram already, or I'm happy with my situation. So, beautiful. A little bit socked in today. I hope that the cloud ceiling lifts so that they can glass better. Be a bummer to go up into that beautiful country and be socked in. We just took about 4 hours plus to ride horses from our camp down at the main river up here to the Desolation Spike Camp, they call this. Appropriately named. There is not going to be another person here the whole time that Andy and Jason and Marcus are here. So we're dropping them off with all those supplies right there. And then we're going to take all the horses back out of here because there's nothing for horses to eat up in this rock pile. And then we're going to come back in 2 days, I think. We're coming to get them in 2 days, or are we going to let them marinate for 4 or 5 days? How bad do you guys want to come home? So that's the plan. And while they're up here in the sheep country, rumor is that the caribou are starting their annual stampede. And it's just kind of like, which one do you want? So I think that's how it's going to go down. But you got to stay tuned to find out.
Pretty awesome. That one's heavy. Drops down. That one on the far end was long, but not as heavy as this one. There's 5 there, actually. Might be 4, we might not be able to see it. Right. That's cool. I just walked by. What do you think of Camp Desolation?
It's pretty awesome. We've only been here, we hiked about, an hour from our camp down there. We got right here to this point, and we just peeked over and there were 5 rams. About, 700-800 yards away or so. They're all younger rams, but pretty awesome. We changed locations. We rode the horses about 5 hours from our other camp, and we just did a spike camp right here, so we'll be here for a couple days. But there's a ton of country for us to explore, so hopefully we'll turn up an old ram.
I think Randy would be shooting that one if he saw it. Because I think the big thing he wanted to try to get was a double shovel.
You know, one of the most incredible parts of being up here was just, again, seeing the colors, seeing the landscape, but the amount of water that they have here. I mean, as I sit here, it's flowing right next to me, and as we're hiking, you just dip your water bottle into the creek and get a wonderful drink of water, and it's cold and it's fresh. And with the Sheep Society and all the efforts that we do to capture water on the top of the mountain or the side of the mountain for sheep, it's just an interesting contrast. It's definitely been an eye-opening experience, and in the Arizona Desert Bighorn Sheep Society, our biggest, not our biggest maybe, but one of our major issues is making sure and keeping water on the mountain for sheep. You know, when I sit around and I tell people here about kind of the projects we do, I don't know that it even registers because they can't imagine that there's no water on the mountain in Arizona, and the water holes that we build and capacity that we try to maintain on the side of the mountain for sheep. So that in drought periods that they have something to drink because they can't travel the way that they used to. Is, you know, one of our biggest issues is roads and barriers and, you know, things that don't allow sheep to travel the way that they used to. And in these mountains, these sheep are traveling the exact same trails they've been for a long, long time. There's no roads here. There's no barriers to travel for these sheep. And you know, I'll take some of these experiences home with me and even work harder for sheep in Arizona. But I think it's important to know that the water holes we build are not just for sheep. You know, the ones that sheep dollars get spent on are primarily in bighorn sheep habitat, but all animals in those areas benefit from it: javelina, mountain lions, quail, deer. But whether it's sheep or deer or elk, I just think it's important for people to get involved and find a group that you can relate with and make a difference, because, you know, in today's world, I don't think just buying a hunting license and being a part of that culture is enough. I think that there's tons of volunteer opportunities out there to make a difference, and whether it's building water holes or taking down fences for antelope or, you know, whatever it can be, there's, you know, people have a little bit of extra time, and if they are willing to do so, I think they'll get a lot out of it, and they'll get more out of it than they put into it. I know that's true for me, so I hope it is for them. We found some rams. We hiked up from camp, I don't know, an hour or so. Found some rams. It's probably the same ones we saw yesterday. But now we're just trying to figure out how to cross this drainage. So